Okay, so as you can see, this is the table that I made. It's made with a towel top. And so what I'd like to do is just go over what I used and how I actually did this. As you can see, there's some thin set onto the side of that. But this is the table after it has been done. It's complete. And the framing, I used 2x2 poplar wood is what I did. You can use whatever size you want, 4x4s, 2x4s, or whatever. The grout, I went to Home Depot. Most of all of the supplies I use I got from Home Depot. And so they have different types of grout. You can get the powdered form in the bag, or you can buy the pre-mixed. I prefer to do the pre-mix. Yes, it costs a bit more, but I don't have to worry with mixing it and making sure I put the right water to powder ratio and all of that. So I went ahead and got that. And then the actual color that I used was it was a gray type color. And so this is it right here that I use, but you use whatever grout that you want. The thin set, that also can come in the powdered form, or you can get it in the already pre-mixed bucket, and it comes in the quart size, as you can see here, or you can get the gallon size. You save a bit of money by getting it in the gallon size. It's pretty expensive. It was about 71, 72 bucks. I used the simple set, thin set. It's the adhesive in which the towel will be laid on. So that's what I used for that. And again, it's your choice. This is what it looks like mixed. Now the trowel is how you apply it to the wall or to whatever surface you're using. And this is a notch trowel, so it basically helps the towel to adhere better. And so you just kind of put it on there, and you'll see how you just put it on the wall, and things like that. And so that's what I did. The float, you'll need that as well, because they have different ones there, but I normally get the cheapest one, of course. And this is one here. You'll see that. And what I do with that, you just basically spread your grout with that. Once you laid the towel, you let the towel sit for some hours, and then you spread that onto the surface. And then you just use your float at an angle to make sure you get it into all the cracks and everything, and making sure that you don't rub it in the wrong way. Up and down is not the way you want to do it, somewhat at a 60-degree angle there, so you won't pull the grout out of the grooves and everything else. And so you do that. And the important thing is to make sure you have that sponge, because the sponge and a bucket of water close by, because what you'll do with that, and they have the sponges there, what you'll do with that is you'll wipe that grout off, and you'll rinse it in the bucket, and then you continue to wipe that off, trying to make sure that you don't wipe all of the grout out of the grooves, but you want it off the surface. Now the spacers here, I use those so that I can make sure that my towel is all level or even and so forth. Sometimes, when you've done this for a while, you can just eyeball it. I eyeball it sometimes, but when I first started, I made sure that I used the spacers, because what you don't want is your project to start at one level, and then when you're done, it's going downhill or uphill. So that's what I usually do. And you let that sit there for a while, some hours, and then I'll take that out once my towel has set somewhat. Now the towel, you can get whatever towel you want, whatever works for you. I prefer to get, sometimes I'll use the mosaic towels, but I prefer to get the kind that's already separated into its own little sections, because I can work with it better. Later on, you'll see where there's some towel cutters in case you want to just get big pieces of towel and cut them. I try not to deal with cutting towel, but this towel here looks to be more similar to what I've used. As you see there, they have the notches there from the adhesive. They're sitting the towel on that. Right here, they're spraying it with some sealer, but you can buy the cleaner where you can go in there and clean all of the surface. It's going to be like a surface dust or a film or whatever, so you can wipe that off, and then you seal it so that you don't have the mildew. Here you have the cutters, and you have the knee pads. If you're working with towel on your floor or the floor of your van or whatever, then the knee pads come in handy, because you will really hurt your knees. These are the buckets I use that to put the water in. and I make sure I have lots of water. This is the finished product again, and it's really, really easy. Now, I'm showing you my wall that I did in my bathroom in my home. And again, it's the same process, the same equipment, the same accessories, the same tools. And again, I just did that on my own. And I just learned by looking. I learned by YouTube. All right, guys, if you have questions, put it in my comments. Thank you so much.